Greetings, in the name of the Most High Yahuwah and his Son, Yahusha, to the 12 tribes of Israel and to those of all nations of the world. I am Brother Hiram, and I am bringing to you this video, which I have entitled, The Israelite Truth in 7 Minutes. My mission and purpose in this video is to answer the question, who are the 12 tribes of Israel today? The issue of the identity of the 12 tribes of Israel has gained much traction in the media in this day and time through high-profile people such as Nick Cannon, Kanye West, and Kyrie Irving. Many people are hearing about this issue secondhand, and unrighteous judgments are being made because people are not first hearing the matter out, and they are rebuking without first gaining an understanding. I am giving America and the world the opportunity to hear this matter out for themselves and to gain an understanding. I will do my best to answer this question with Scripture and not with my own opinion. However, it is ultimately up to you, the viewer, to search the Scriptures to see if what I am saying is true. I will spend the first few minutes laying the foundation, starting with our father Abraham, all the way through to the Messiah of Israel. I will then bring out what I believe are the most relevant scriptural references for us today. With the help of the Most High, I will make this short, sweet, and to the point. And lastly, I will close this video out by explaining why many of us so-called African Americans believe that we know the answer to this question. So without further delay, let's get it on. We will begin with our father Abraham. Abraham was promised by the Most High that he would become a great nation and that his descendants would inherit the land which we know today as Israel and its surrounding countries. This promise was passed down to his son Isaac, who likewise passed it down to his son Jacob. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, had 12 sons through whom the Most High birthed the great nation promised to Abraham while they sojourned and were later enslaved in Egypt. These 12 sons became the 12 tribes of Israel, whom the Most High delivered out of bondage in Egypt, led through the wilderness by the hand of Moses, and led into the promised land by the hand of Joshua. While in the wilderness, the Most High made a covenant with the 12 tribes of Israel to make them his chosen nation of people in the earth. Within this covenant, he promised to bless the 12 tribes of Israel with material prosperity and wealth, bodily health, victory over their enemies, and respect and reverence from all the other nations. If and only if they obeyed his voice and kept his commandments. Also within this covenant, the Most High promised to curse the 12 tribes of Israel with poverty, sickness, defeat, and rejection if they disobeyed his voice and broke his commandments. Throughout the Hebrew Scriptures, or the so-called Old Testament, we see that the children of Israel lived out both the blessings and the curses of the covenant. Many of you have heard the term gospel, which is more accurately the good news. Well, the bad news is that the children of Israel lived out the curses throughout their history in the promised land because of their continual disobedience and breaking of the covenant. As a result, they were exiled out of their land into all nations of the world where they reside to this day. Well, thankfully, according to the Scriptures, this account does not end with just bad news. The good news is that the Most High had a plan from the beginning to save, redeem, and restore this great nation of people, and in turn to use this people to bring salvation to the children of Adam throughout the whole earth. This good news was spearheaded by Yahushua HaMashiach, also called Jesus Christ, the Son of the Most High Yahuwah, and by his 12 emissaries, also called apostles. This good news will culminate in the return of Yahushua to the earth, through whom the Most High Yahuwah will judge all nations, punish the wicked, reward the righteous, and rule and reign until the end of time as we know it. Now, for the $1 million question. If this great nation of people has played and will play such a significant role in all of human history, then who are they today? Can we look at a world census somewhere that will tell us who they are, where they are, and how many of them there are? Can we trust Hollywood, the media, and our education system to tell us who they are? Better yet, do you know that the scriptures themselves give us enough clues to answer this question? Please allow me at this time to take you through the scriptures and show you. Let's begin in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, wherein the blessings and the curses of the covenant are clearly spelled out. The blessings are spelled out in verses 1 through 14, and the curses in verses 15 through 68. Two verses within this chapter which are of great significance to this discussion are verses 45 and 46, which say, "And all these curses shall come upon you, and they shall pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the voice of Yahuwah your mighty one, to guard his commands and his laws which he commanded you. And they shall be upon you for a sign and for a wonder, and on your seed forever." The word forever here really means until the end of the age. We see in chapter 30, verses 1 through 10 of the same book that the salvation, redemption, and restoration of the nation of Israel will not take place until they collectively turn back to Yahuwah, obey his voice, and keep his commandments. Therefore, what we are being told in verses 45 and 46 of Deuteronomy chapter 28 is that from the time of their exile to the time of their restoration, the children of Israel will be collectively living out the curses of the covenant throughout all generations. Yahushua HaMashiach confirms this by saying in Luke chapter 21, verse 24, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are filled." Interesting to note that he pointed out that Jerusalem will be under Gentile control until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Well, the times of the Gentiles are at hand and are yet to be fulfilled. So that must mean that Jerusalem to this day is still under Gentile control. Now, the most definite or the most definitive statement that was made in this verse, however, is that the children of Israel, and specifically the children of Judah, along with Benjamin and Levi, would be led away captive into all nations. We already see in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64, that the children of Israel were to be scattered among all people from one end of the earth to the other. Yahushua goes even further by telling us the manner of this scattering, which is not by migration, but by captivity. The reason why this point is so vital to our discussion is that there is only one group of people on this earth today that have fulfilled these words. Among all nations of the world today, there is one group of people whose ancestors were brought to their current country in captivity, and these people are to this day collectively living out the curses of the covenant. You will find this to be the case in the United States of America, the Caribbean islands, the countries of Central and South America, all the countries of Europe, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, China, and so on. To put the icing on the cake, there are only two events in human history since the time Yahushua made this statement wherein one group of people were led away captive into all nations. Those two events are the Islamic slave trade of the 7th century and the transatlantic slave trade, which began about 1,000 years thereafter. Between these two slave trades, all nations had their hand in exploiting the 12 tribes of Israel. As it is written in Joel chapter 3, verse 2, "Then I shall gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I shall enter into judgment with them there for my people, my inheritance, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and they have divided up my land." Notice that he said he would gather all nations for judgment on this matter. So there you have it, the Israelite truth in 7 minutes, maybe a little over. Many of us so-called blacks, so-called African Americans, believe that we are the 12 tribes of Israel because we have found no other group of people on this earth who collectively has fulfilled and is fulfilling the curses of the covenant generation after generation. Nor have we found any other group of people that has fulfilled and is fulfilling the prophecies of Scripture concerning this matter. Again, I put this video out because I want you, the viewer, to study the Scriptures for yourself and to make your own judgment. Don't take the media's word for it, don't take Hollywood's word for it, and don't even take my word alone for it. Search the Scriptures for yourself and see if what I'm saying to you is true. This video is not meant to be an exhaustive study on this matter. It is, however, meant to be a base for you to work from as you search out this matter more extensively. Let me close by saying that I appreciate you, the viewer, for giving me a few minutes of your time, because I wanted to strike while the iron is hot on this time-sensitive matter. I did not add visuals to this video to emphasize the scriptural references. I did, however, include a link in the description box for you to download the transcript, which is in PDF form, wherein you will find all the scriptural references. Thanks again for your time, and may the Most High Yahuwah open your eyes to the truth. Shalom.